Hi, my name's Andy Haynes. I'm the pastor of the church on Seven Hills, and this week we are concluding at 10:30 a.m. when we gather for worship on Sunday. We are concluding our series on Amos. This past Sunday, there was a point in the text of Amos that brought out pride, and I wanted to address that a little bit more in our midweek video because pride is not something that we often identify as a sin. And I'm not talking about the pride that results from like a job well done or the sense of accomplishment, but rather the pride that the Bible describes as sin being a belligerence or an arrogance that looks down on other people. We saw last week in the text that God hates this kind of pride. And it's interesting to me because when I think about pride, it's not something that I easily identify in life. Right? I can identify so many things when I get angry, when I'm mad, when there's all kinds of other things going on. But what about pride? Two aspects of pride that I think lead us into sin. The first is an arrogance that looks down on others. And sometimes we mask this as a false humility to say, well, at least I'm not experiencing something that someone else is. And we see that as a simple form of gratitude, but ultimately looking at it saying, they're worse off than me. That's a pride. Jesus tells us to love our neighbors, and rather than judging and comparing, we need to show love and mercy in that circumstance. And a second form of pride is the fear of what others think of us. And this one may be more common. And I know I've certainly experienced it, but the thought that what do others think of me? What will they feel? What will they experience if I do or say? That fear can immobilize us to the mission of God. God calls us to love Him and love our neighbor, right? And to do those things, we have to be humble. And that's why I think what we saw last week in Amos, God hates pride. He wants people who are humble and willing. So will you join me in saying, yes, Lord, here I am. Use me. I look forward to worshiping with you on Sunday. We had a great experience this last week, and I hope you come and enjoy the conclusion of our time in the prophet Amos.